It's a wand
Where did you find it?
in here.
Yes, come here. Come here with the wand.
The stick.
It's a
Can I-
family photo, come.
Family photo.
I'm a queen of wands.
No, you're queen of swords.
I'm a queen of swords, actually.
Wait.
I'm not the queen of wands, I'm the queen of swords.
Okay, but give them a second.
Where did he go? Is he going to bring something that's gonna surprise me? Or is this going to be another bunch of cookies and tea, which I don't mind? Oh, it's so chilly today. We're in the mountains, it's so chilly today. It's the cups! Queen of cups! King of cups!
Hopefully.
Yeah, I was just saying, is he gonna bring something that's gonna surprise me? And yes, it surprised me. King of cups.
Cheers.
You should sit like a king of cups.
How does it sit even? I don't remember. I think
think-
it's very chill, like this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, like. I like it. Oh, okay. So, tell me, who is Franco Battiato?
he was an Italian singer born in Catania, I think, or around Catania anyway. I don't remember when. Something like 1945.
Yes, 1945, I remember.
Nice. And he's very much his own person in the style of his songs.
Why are we mentioning Franco Battiato today?
Because I made you listen to him a few days ago.
You inflicted him on me.
No, you liked it.
Yes.
And I made you listen to him a few days ago, and then as we were in a bookshop, we found a book kind of by Franco Battiato, because as far as I understand, it's a collection of quotes by him. It's not something that he wrote, which is a book called All'essenza. So, a random advertisement for the book. And it's full of quotes by Battiato, probably from interviews or excerpts from, I don't know, maybe diaries,
Maybe
possibly.
his diary.
And it's a nice book. A lot of very short quotes, very to the point, sometimes without context, which I like because I'm a fan of Heraclitus. So any quotes without context for me is a good quote. And they're nice, they make you think, and they give you a good idea of who he was and his idea of mysticism, his approach to his view of life.
For me, it's a great book to learn
Yeah.
Italian. And I want you to be speaking about some of his quotes today and share your thoughts on some of his ideas. But first, hold the wand.
So now I am officially both principals. Thank you. And also, thank you. Also a plate. Both principals and a plate.
Yes, I will bring the tea.
Yes.
No, wait, sit here.
Wait.
Because we need a table.
Where do we go? Okay. Yes.
Cuckoo. And this is one of his songs, by the way.
Cuckoo. Yes.
Sing, let's sing.
Cuckoo.
Paloma.
Okay. Where do I sit? Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can sit
Wait.
there, in the center.
Okay. No. I need to bring the cup to safety first.
There!
I need to save the cup.
Dove il tè? Qui. Okay, I have interesting here. Rote Früchte. Rote Früchte, Frutti rossi. Frutti rossi. Punk. Schön. What is he doing? Prendo il tè. Is he outside? Looks like he's outside. Oh, you look nice.
Thank you.
I will be reading a quote, and you need to tell me, in general, what does that mean? If I fail to understand it, and then feel free to share your thoughts. Okay, I marked a few. By the way, where is the little fiore?
Oh, it's here.
No, give it. It's going to be my little bookmark.
But you can use the action.
Yeah, but I also like the little fiore.
Okay.
Okay. I hope I managed to read it nicely. Incontrare la meditazione per me ha voluto dire incontrare la mia realtà interiore, distaccarmi dalla funzione del sociale per trovare il mio centro di gravità permanente.
Which is the name of one of his most famous songs.
Centro di gravità permanente.
It's well, he says per me because he was a wise man, so he wasn't talking in absolutes, but he's saying that to discover meditation to him meant to get in touch with his inner reality and to detach from the function of the social, as in detach from what society kind of expects of you as a singer or as a man, as a person, to find his permanent center of gravity, which I always liked as a concept because it's very much, to me, the idea of the permanent center of gravity is very much connected to the idea of Tiferet in the Kabbalah. So which is the center of the tree of life, and it's when you're in touch with your true self, your higher self, even. And it's a state that when you reach it, it does feel as if you are very hard to shake. Like things around you happen, but you are unaffected by them. It's not that you're unaffected because you're desensitized, but it's because you have your own center. You're centered. And I like that he says that he found this with meditation, because when you do meditate enough, even though, again, the idea of meditation, his idea is most likely the Eastern one. And like I said in an old video, there are different ways. Like the Western kind of meditation is a different thing. It's a little bit more, I prefer to call it contemplation rather than meditation. But I think considering he was someone who was also into Sufism and Gurdjieff, his idea of meditation is probably a broad one. It's not like David Lynch, whose idea of meditation is transcendent meditation, and that's it. For Battiato, probably meditation was also contemplation, because a lot of his songs, the lyrics, which are, as you noticed, sometimes absurd, but they hint at the fact that he was a very contemplative person, because some of his lyrics are really just contemplations of images, of mental musings.
Uno dei uno dei cardini del sistema Gurdjieff è quello dell'osservazione, dell'auto-osservazione, perché tutto accade, forse non ci rendiamo conto, ma una certa meccanicità ci guida. È difficile accettare che siamo vittime di pensieri associativi, che siamo vittime di gusti preordinati, che siamo vittime di scelte che altri hanno fatto prima di noi. Il conosci te stesso, il conosci te stesso è in realtà questo, riuscire a capire qual è la propria essenza. La personalità è una cosa posticcia, che in qualche modo si controlla e ciascuno deve trovare il suo posto, che è nato per scrivere un libro, chi per dipingere, chi per fare il giardiniere. So here he says that everybody should
find
their own.
the idea. I like the self-observation that he mentioned, the fact that we are guided by a certain mechanicness. In most of the time, we as people don't really act by following what we not even want. I mean, if I say want right now, I mean it in a broad sense. We don't act by following our deeper urges, impulses. Who am I? What do I want? Most of the time we act as a consequence, as a reaction rather than an action. So you act based on what your parents, your family, then society, your employers expect from you. You act based on peer pressure. You act based on all the mental associations, like I did this the last time, so I'm gonna do it again. Or old traumas, even, like I was in a relationship and this person said this exact thing, so I'm gonna react as if this exact thing that this person has told me is the same thing. Like you superimpose mental associations on almost everything that you do during your day, during your life. And like he says, the conosci te stesso, which is the know yourself, know thyself, gnosis auton in Greek, is not is exactly that. It's to figure out how many influences you are currently suffering from, and is this really me?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of observation. It also takes a lot of willingness to die to your own self. Like you have to do this knowing that you may at some point not be able to recognize yourself anymore. The moment you removed all of these things, whatever is left, it might even be a little bit scary. Like you may go for years thinking that you're that, while in fact you are this. And this is something that you don't want to look at. Because maybe with that you are more accepted, more you feel better in society, you feel like people accept you, you feel like you're accommodating, or you feel sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes you're a very kind person who's been hurt, and then you become a little bit of an asshole. And it goes both ways. The main point is knowing yourself means to remove everything and to find out what are you meant to be.
Yes. Rainy. Ceppo.
Not rainy, but this is the Come on Baby Light My Fire box.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
And this is the Let's Skip This Beach. I like how they made this whole box of appetizers for the fire.
Appetizers. Nice.
Okay, so first I take this.
Tell me about this container for the broom.
It's a bombshell, which my grandfather found somewhere in the mountains. And then he took it here and he decided to put it to good use and turn it into a container for stuff for the fireplace.
So it's almost a century, well, without 25 years. I mean, how old is this?
If it's from World War One, then it's over a century old.
Over a century.
I think it might be World War One because that's the war that was fought here. The helmet on top of the fireplace is also from World War One. Yeah,
This one,
yes.
the helmet.
It's an Italian helmet from World War One. It's full of bullet holes.
Yeah, that's a bullet holes.
Yeah.
It's bullet holes.
But it's also over 100 years old.
And the head is more, it's older.
Like 200-300 years old, I would say at least.
200-300 years old.
Might be more.
Do you think it was a part of fountain?
I think it was part of a fountain. Probably there was a tap through going out of the statue's mouth.
Looks very much like serving that purpose, because otherwise I don't understand. Or it could be like a little Kiavi house.
No, I think it was either a fountain or a very, very unsatisfying sex toy.
Stop it! It's strange. And this is part of the bowl.
It was a big bombshell.
God is one faraway
Yes.
thing. People cannot think
That he
that he
protects everybody.
everyone.
We exist to evolve, not to have children and go on producing similar copies. We have a destiny to achieve, and every time you get it wrong, you take steps backwards. And if someone chooses to be a killer, it's his choice. It's not that somebody taught him. And then he was saying how often it is that someone is born in a family of criminals and is forced to enter into areas where he would have never wanted to step into. And then during his life, he redeems himself.
You marked this.
Yeah, because of the idea of God that religion has, which is really like what leads later to the stupid question of if God is so loving and so powerful, why do bad things happen? That's like one of the average silly atheist questions. Like, honestly, they're like not the smartest atheists who ask that thing. It's kind of on the same line as if God is all powerful, could he create a rock so heavy that he cannot lift it? It's those questions that make them feel very smart. Because it's a different thing, like the idea of God, the fact that he says we have a destiny for us. Every time you take a wrong turn, you go backwards. It's an interesting concept, because it's not God's fault if you make a mess out of your life and if you feel like you haven't achieved anything, and it's not even God's fault if you are a victim of violence from other humans. It's all about taking responsibility as humans.
Would God be interested in have everything in order, or in people actually making a choice?
I think that is a humanizing idea of God. I don't think God is interested in something or something else. I think it's the divine is simply the fundamental good underlying everything. When people stray from it, it's not the divine's fault. It's their fault. And many times what we perceive as evil is probably just a step in a larger long-term plan that we are not able to experience in its fullness.
Siamo sommersi da falsi insegnamenti e concezioni Allora uno deve solo ricongiungersi alla sua essenza, bella o brutta che sia. Poi, una volta capito chi è, cominciare a modificarsi.
We are submerged with false teachings and false notions. Therefore, a person should only rejoin to their own essence, ugly or beautiful as it may be. And then once they have very clear who they are, start to change themselves. It's pretty much what we talked about earlier. Like you can be an absolute asshole, and that's your essence, but you're probably still going to create more good in the world by being that than by being someone that you are not. Even if the good you're creating is tough love, or if it's it doesn't even look like it's good at first. But it's true that once you need to have an idea of who you are before you can even start truly working on yourself. I think the first half of the process is understanding who you are. The second half is becoming better.
But in this movie, As Good as It Gets, that we saw today, what triggered the change in the main character? The fact that he liked a woman, or was it?
I think it was the experience of love, but not for her. Because at first it was the dog.
Yeah.
It was the experience of contact and kindness, like experiencing compassion towards another being. And then from that, everything else opens. The fact that I liked how at the beginning of the movie he keeps trying to type in love is, and he's always interrupted by the knocking or the doorbell, and he never finishes that line. In the movie, you don't see him be like, oh, now I know. Because I think that love, I feel like if his change came from love for the waitress lady, it would have been a little bit cheaper. I like that it started with the dog. It was something love for something that the kind of love that has to be unconditional, and then from there you can also go towards romantic love.
And I like the final scene of that movie when they're talking about how special she is, although she's a waiter, nobody notices her goodness. However, she may be one of the best women the world has seen. This was beautiful. Look, here's a reference to Twin Peaks. Nulla è come sembra. Siamo infiniti ed eterni quanto il cosmo. In realtà siamo prigionieri delle nostre abitudini, paure e potenti illusioni. Dunque non riusciamo a considerare consapevolmente di essere parte del tutto universale.
Nothing is as it seems. We are infinite and eternal as much as the cosmos. In truth, we are prisoners of our own habits, fears, and powerful illusions. Therefore, therefore, we are incapable of consciously consider that we are part of a universal whole, everything of a universal whole.
But don't you think if everybody considered their own divinity, the world would be impossible to live in?
Why?
Because everybody would be like, I'm full of absolutely inexplicable chaos, and I am full of enlightenment, and people would just inflict their own enlightenment on each other.
No, that's a bad perception of what it means to be enlightened. Like that's a perception like it's those people who are not enlightened who do that, like the new age gurus. I told you a few days ago this Zen phrase: before enlightenment, I chopped wood, cooked rice, carried grain. After enlightenment, I chop wood, cook rice, carry grain. It's not about showing off to others how enlightened you are. It's about feeling as part of a whole and feeling as if so many things that we consider to be such a big deal are actually pointless and almost ridiculous, and they just distract us from being at peace. And the best feeling of peace is when you feel like you're not an island floating around completely separated from everything, but you actually are part of everything. And if everybody was that, I think for one, there would be no wars, probably. Because at that point, that unconditional love comes into play, and suddenly you're seeing someone who is not you as someone who is like you, no matter how different in appearance they might be or in habits. The moment there would be that kind of awareness, suddenly there would be no fear of the different, no fear of the other. The big fear of the other comes from the fact that the other one might hurt us and we don't understand them.
Nascere nel regno umano è un grande dono, perché il libero arbitrio gli altri regni non ce l'hanno. Ognuno è artefice della sua fortuna. I nemici sono dentro di noi.
Nemici.
Artefice, nemici. I nemici sono dentro di noi.
To be born in the human kingdom is a great gift, because the other kingdoms don't have free will. I think it means vegetable and animal kingdom. Each of us is the builder of their own fortune. Luck,
Their destiny, maybe.
Yeah, fortune. I mean, it's intended as destiny. Like each of us creates their own destiny. The enemies are within us. Like the real enemies are within us. And I think what he means by this is that the only thing that prevents you from actually creating your own destiny very often is yourself, your own doubts, your own fears. Of course, it's a simplistic view, because there are some people who are not even given the chance to create their own destiny. I mean, if you're born in a country that is currently at war and you don't even get the chance to grow up, then you can't be blamed for it. But in an ideal scenario in which everything is relatively calm and peaceful for you, it's very often it's just what is within us who stops us.
Il silenzio è una tecnica ed è quindi facile da raggiungere. Può sembrare una contraddizione, ma non lo è. È la direzione ossessiva imboccata da questa società che fa diventare quasi impossibile lo studio del silenzio, ma la tecnica, quando si cominci a impararla, è facile come suonare il pianoforte. Il silenzio è un'igiene totale. The silence is the total hygiene.
This one, I wish I remembered all the things I said about this, because it's really important.
One thing you said is that music is the door
gateway to silence. But yeah, it was because I was mentioning the fact that silence is one of those things that is getting taken away from us by the way we live nowadays. Like you're constantly exposed to noise, but not natural noises. Like even now, again, there's a bird chirping outside. You hear it.
Yes.
But that is natural. This is part of the silence. The things that are not part of the silence are the city sounds, the loud people, the intrusive things that somehow disrupt your peace. And even when you're by yourself at home, very often we tend to fill the silence with noise. Whether the noise is like we're doom scrolling, we're watching a podcast, we're listening to actually watching a stream, or we're listening to a podcast, or we are listening to music, which in that case it can be nice, but it has to stop at some point. There's a fear of silence, which seems to be, it's almost as if and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think it's not. It's almost as if you're home in silence, actual silence, when the silence becomes palpable, almost you can touch it, you feel surrounded, immersed in silence. It's almost as if social pressure demands that you are not. It's almost as if you need to fill that silence with something instead of enjoying it. And sometimes the silence is even broken just by a notification on your phone. You hear your message going like bleep, and suddenly you're distracted by that. Because the silence from the outside, of course, ushers the inner silence. The moment you're surrounded by silence, then it's easier for the silence inside you to happen as well. But we are so surrounded by distractions that it has now to be a conscious effort to experience that silence.
I think that's what happens to me when I archive all my photos and pictures and reel from my own Instagram page, because it's almost I am getting distracted by my own pictures, by my own, like I want that noise
to
stop for a while, and I archive them, and then the moment I feel like I've taken
then
my rest, I get them back. That's weird, but I think that's the perfect explanation.
Because it's also noise, like mental noise. It can come also from images. But I remember when I was a child, I would spend days in silence. I would not talk to anybody. Being an only child helped. I would read or walk in the woods, completely lost observing my own thoughts. It's also a type of Taoist meditation. I think it's called aimless wandering, when you just go in a natural place and you start walking around, not without a goal, just immersing yourself and observing your thoughts and getting lost in the environment. And then if a bird is chirping and that catches your attention, then you let your attention be caught by that. That's also a way of enjoying the silence. It's something that I strongly recommend, because we don't get enough of that nowadays. There's always noise everywhere. Even now here, you remember the first evening when we were here? We didn't watch movies, we were just here by the fire.
Yes.
And we were talking, but there was that kind of silence.
Yeah.
And that's something that doesn't really happen a lot anymore. And it used to happen much more. People knew the value of silence. And it's something that is easy once you get used to it. The hard part is not the silence itself. It's finding the space for that silence. Because like I said, I don't remember if in this video or before, the really important things don't impose themselves on you. You have to make space in your life for them.
It was so difficult. I remember, when I was a teenager, or there was always a TV on, always,
Same.
every day, and that was not like you could almost feel like there was no space for talk because of that.
Because whatever space for talk there was filled by the noise from the TV.
It was somebody else's talks, but not the talks between.
So it's the same for me. I remember my dad was the one who he came home from work, he turned on the TV, and then the TV stayed on for all of his permanence there, even when he was not looking at it or he was doing something else. I remember how refreshing it was to be able to turn it off. When he went to work and I was just spending my afternoon there, just finally turning off the TV, and then there was silence. Of course, I wasn't able to talk to anybody at that point because I was home alone, but I was home alone in silence.
My grandma was the one who could actually spend some time or a few hours without the TV. My mom, however, could even fall asleep to TV, which I still cannot do.
Yep.
Maybe because it was just such a soothing background noise for her. And there's a bird, look at that. Where? There on the branch. You don't see her. There's a bird sitting on the branch.
No, I don't see. I think I will see it the moment it moves far away.
These birds don't know that there are social networks, TV stations, and propaganda.
Yeah, they just know that there are nice berries on the tree.
And the clouds that are almost touching the treetops.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. And they enjoy the silence, I guess, so spontaneously and naturally.
Look, there's something interesting he says about Osho. Osho Rajneesh, l'indiano della famosa scuola degli arancioni, era gorgiefano al 100% e I suoi allievi sono cresciuti sotto un influsso senz'altro gorgiefano. I don't think you have to say something like that.
No, because the thing is I don't know Gurdjieff and I don't like Osho.
Why don't you like Osho?
Because the guy was a creep. There are a lot of controversies about him. And to me, Osho, I never liked him. So, I don't know. I kind of hope that Osho was not Gurdjieff influenced, because I do plan on reading Gurdjieff, and I hope that Osho is not the outcome of what reading Gurdjieff leads to. Because Battiato seems to be another outcome, so I'm okay with that.
Osho is still smart. He's still an attractive mind because he's smart. If you read some of his books, he also speaks about his childhood and the way he was actually a little, what's that word? The one who creates a revolution, like a little revolutionary, like the one who starts a little revolution.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, forgot this word. But the one who was going to his people, parents, friends, adults, and was asking them inconvenient questions. He was an inquisitive and very curious mind. Of course, he became a commercially oriented in the end. But the thing is, his books helped me develop my inner peace in the most turbulent years, when you're like 23 to 27, when you don't know how to deal with your soul. And whatever I read in his books didn't create a lot of controversy. And it actually...
No, it's not about what he writes. It's about the person he was. Like
orgies.
Yeah, exactly. Like the books. Of course, you can write the most amazing. Seneca himself wrote amazing stuff in his books, but then he wasn't exactly very good at following the things that he claimed. So that's why, I don't know, I hope that... Because of course I read things by Osho, and I was like, okay, yeah, the guy has a point, but...
About silence, there's a book called Silence, and it's actually very good by Osho.
This one.
This one.
Yeah, this one seems interesting.
L'insegnamento di Gurdjieff è il misticismo applicato alla vita. Non insegnava a diventare santi, bonzi, yogi o fakiri. Consigliava invece di fare esercizi all'interno della vita quotidiana, it's such a difficult word, magari mentre ti trovi in un caffè o in un mercato. È il misticismo applicato alla vita. Io ho seguito questa scuola per circa 10 anni.
It says that Gurdjieff's teaching is mysticism applied to real life, like to everyday life. So you don't have to become a monk or a saint or a fakir or a yogi. And he suggested instead to do exercises within everyday situations, like in a cafe or in a marketplace. And this is something that the Sufis do as well. One of the books I have and I've read about Sufism, I think it was Rules and Secrets of the Naqshbandi Order by Idris Shah. One of the exercises, I can't remember the name, it's like 12 exercises, 12 rules, 12 secrets of this order. One of them is something like alone in the crowd. I think it's the name that he gives. And it's about being able to detach yourself and find your own center, like centro di gravità permanente, your own center and your own peace, even in a very everyday crowded noisy situation. He recommends to try it like on a noisy train or in a marketplace or in a
in an underground station, to be like, instead of being carried away by the noise and the chaos, focus and become alone in this crowd, as if you are alone. And it's very nice when you manage that. It's very nice when you manage that, especially in situations that will overwhelm you. But it takes, of course, so much practice.
By the way, is the subway in Milano very loud? Like, do you hear the sound of the train and the wheels that are?
Yes, I was doing that exercise when I lived in Milan. Even the subway, yeah.
Because sometimes it gets so incredibly noisy in subway that it's so hard to just detach yourself from those.
And that's why the exercise is not easy, because it's easy to detach yourself when everything is calm. The tricky part, but also the satisfying part, is when you're in such a place that is bombarding you with stimuli and you're just at peace instead. It's hard. It's nice, but it's hard.
La musica per me è uno strumento per raggiungere certi livelli spirituali. Oggi sono capace di concentrarmi nel silenzio, è una sensazione che diventa materia. L'abbandono totale non sempre consente una completa sintonia con l'esterno. È necessario ascoltare gli altri, solo così possiamo comprendere la vera musica. Vivo nel sacro e la mia musica riflette questa dimensione. There's not much to say.
It says that music for him is an instrument to reach certain spiritual levels. And now, as of now, he's able to concentrate in silence, and it's a sensation that becomes matter. But yeah, there's not a lot to say. I mean, it's more an observation about music and how he perceives it. I like that he says that he lives in the sacred, and music reflects that dimension, because
This one a big one.
No.
It's
I'd rather
skip it.
Yeah, maybe this one, if anything.
Oh yeah, by the way. I grandi mistici di ogni epoca e religioni hanno insegnato la tolleranza. Nel corso dei secoli le false interpretazioni del Corano.
Interpretazioni.
Italian, you're killing me. Nel corso dei secoli le false interpretazioni del Corano e della Bibbia sono state pretesto di genocidi e massacri. Ma chi uccide in nome di Dio non è degno di chiamarsi né musulmane né cristiano. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. You cannot kill in the name of God.
It's like if you do, you're not really worthy to be calling yourself Muslim or Christian or Jewish or anything, because every mystic path has always been about tolerance. I was telling you, I think a few days ago, about how Saint Francis, for instance, was very much into tolerance between religions, to the point that he was disliked. The Franciscan order was disliked by the Catholic Church and called a heretical for quite some time before they made their peace. The idea is that mysticism is always tolerant, because how can you not be tolerant?
Yes.
You're not really a mystic if you're not tolerant.
Yes. Let me find something interesting.
There was one I highlighted, but I don't know what it is.
Which one? This one? This one.
No, we already did.
We talked about it. Oh.
This one was this one was nice. Yeah.
Let me find something that I can understand more or less. Oh, something about pain and let's read it.
Okay.
Is it interesting?
Yes.
Yes. I romantici andavano alla ricerca disperata del dolore. Io sono all'opposto, ricerco la gioia. Per me il dolore va eliminato, soprattutto come esercizio estetizzante. Oh, wow, esercizio estetizzante, like aesthetic exercise. Yeah? Se sta arrivando un'energia o un'influenza negativa, il dolore va trasmutato immediatamente. Appena si sente che arriva quest'onda, bisogna capovolgerla. La coscienza della sofferenza è un'altra cosa.
He's talking about the fact that the romantics, from the romantic literature and art, were very often looking for pain as sort of an aesthetic thing. He says that he instead is looking for joy. To him, pain is something that needs to be removed, especially as an aesthetic exercise. If you feel this energy or negative influence coming, that pain needs to be transmuted immediately. As soon as you feel this wave coming, you need to flip it around, because the actual knowledge of what suffering is another thing. And I see what he means. Like
the fact that a lot of people romanticize
Yes.
pain and suffering.
Some poets too.
Yeah, and they seem to be unable to be happy, because by being happy they would be boring, they probably feel. So instead they live in this constant turmoil, and they feel so happy about their turmoil because it's what allows them to create. And yet you can create even from a place of happiness or joy or ecstasy. It's just that I guess it's, I don't know, you feel, maybe to some people that's more boring, to be like, I'm creating because I'm happy. I'm creating something beautiful because I want to create something beautiful. It's like the difference between, I don't know, someone like Edvard Munch and Salvador Dali. You know, like this
Dali is happy, Monk
is absolutely miserable all the time, and is creating miserable and terrible things, like visually disturbing. But it's only an illusion to think that one of these two is better than the other. It's more like, if you ruin your life in the name of an aesthetic ideal, I don't know. I don't quite like that notion, because then there are people who do read someone like, I don't know, Dylan Thomas, who is a very nice poet, but the guy was also an alcoholic and obviously very depressed. And you shouldn't think to imitate him, probably.
Sometimes there are writers who write about pain beautifully, that it actually teaches you to feel, rather than like Stefan Zweig or even Remarque, because there were some of their thoughts have become so universally, I don't know even how to describe it. Like, for example, when Stefan Zweig writes about, in a romantic way, about the way the woman suffers about that stranger she met and got crazy about, he opens those areas of a female soul that probably some men don't know that it even exists, or Remarque does that, but he opens up the male's areas of the soul, that a loving heart. That's why that is based on pain, or observation of pain mostly. But when you read that, you compare your own feeling to that sort of classy standard of how things should be felt. That's why I don't know if romantic literature is this detrimental.
I think it can be, because what you're describing is not the aesthetic exercise of pain. It's actually someone who has explored the idea of pain. It's more like when you use pain as a cheap way to, like, oh, look at me, I'm in pain. I'm such a tormented soul.
We talked about this in the reading about that Russian poet, who is now, actually her husband is suing her.
But about time, I would say.
Yes, for defamation, I think.
Yeah.
Let's start, finish this chapter with this one. Yeah? La sincerità è sempre relativa al grado di evoluzione di una persona. Quando uno dice di essere sincera, bisogna anche chiedergli: ma in che senso sei sincero? Rispetto a quale conoscenza di te? Io dirò la verità. Dirò la verità che oggi ritengo tale, ma che fra poco tempo potrebbe essere un'altra. Seems deep.
Yeah. Sincerity is always relative to the grade of personal evolution of someone. When someone says that they are sincere, you need to ask them, what do you mean sincere? Relating to which level of knowledge of yourself. I will tell the truth. I will tell the truth that today I consider to be the truth. But in some time, my truth could be another one. And yeah, because the more you get to know the thing is, yeah, it's true. A lot of people claim to be honest and sincere, are only sincere as much as their knowledge of themselves allows them to be. Because your idea of being an honest, transparent person, like you can only be yourself as much as you know yourself. You can only be true to yourself, and therefore being a sincere person as much as your own knowledge of who you are is deep. Because at some point, maybe some of the things that you say, some of the things that you think, you haven't yet observed them. You don't yet know that they are actually outside influences, something that you need to get rid of. And then when you do get rid of them, maybe you'll have a completely different stand on things. You'll be a completely different person, and your idea of being sincere will change.
Yeah, but the person can also think that today, he can observe himself today and say, I guess, something that's up to date. Like he can be honest about what he feels today. He doesn't necessarily know how life will transform him in years from now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's the idea. When I would say the truth that I consider to be the truth
yes,
today.
that I consider to be the truth today. Okay, it's enough for now.
Okay.
It's nice. It's such a nice book that we bought.